Werewolf by Night. This is a short film by Michael Giacchino? I think I'm saying that right. He's well known actually for composing music, movie soundtracks. He's done stuff like Rogue One, Planet of the Apes, Spider-Man, etc. So it's pretty cool to see that he's doing some directing here. I assume this is his directorial debut. The film follows a group of monster hunters who are tasked with killing a beast in order to obtain the Bloodstone, but one of the characters is hiding who he really is and what his motives are. This was an interesting, entertaining, and pretty charming little short film that didn't feel very MCU at all, so that was quite refreshing. This was black and white for most of the film, and it was definitely going for an old-fashioned feeling. Retro in the sense of how these characters were dressing and how the monsters looked. Particularly the werewolf itself, which looked very like 80s. It was less like a big CG wolf that didn't really look like much of a man, but more of a hairy man with some fangs. So, it was kind of maybe a little bit cheesy, but as I said, the film as a whole was trying to be old-fashioned, so I think it actually fitted with that whole theme. The film just had a cool and intriguing aura. Characters were interesting, even the ones you really know nothing about, but it all just had a charm to it. I like the way it sort of just dives straight in, obviously it doesn't really have too much time to waste here, so it's just kind of throwing you in head first. Here's what's going on, here's some of the characters, let's get the party started. And I thought it was just interesting, you kind of just get sucked straight in and you're intrigued to see where it leads and what's going to happen in this story. I suppose the issue with this film was like, what was the point? What does it all mean? I'm not really sure it has a point. It just felt like a cool Halloweeny, spooky, little film to watch in the month of October. However, this is an MCU product. People from the TVA seem to be present. The Bloodstones seem to be a little bit Infinity Stony, so I'm sure there's more to this than meets the eye. However, I'm not the guy that's going to find out what it all means. That's a Watch Mojo job or some other big Marvel fanatic. They're going to find out all the hidden meanings and what it all means and how it could maybe connect to something bigger. All I can say is that I enjoyed this short film. I liked the runtime, I liked the characters, I liked the pacing. I liked it. Maybe there isn't a whole lot of point to it, but that's alright. I think it's nice to have that with a film every now and then. I think you can let that happen from time to time, and honestly this is one of the best things that the MCU have churned out in the past few years, because for the most part it's been disappointing, and with a lot of the projects you're expecting big things and big setup, whereas this was just like, well, we're just trying to tell a good little story here. So you can't really criticize it for that. Kudos to Giacchino. He did a good job here, and I thought it was entertaining overall, and I think it's worth a watch if you're an MCU follower, and even if you're not, if you just want something to watch, I don't think it's a bad shout. I think it's pretty interesting, but I think if you are invested in the MCU and up to date with it, you may find a little more value from it than if you were just watching it as like a short horror film. I would give this a 7.5 out of 10, and in terms of rewatchability, I don't think I'd ever watch this again. I don't mean that in a negative sense, but I just don't think it has that much rewatch value because, as I said, to me it seems like there's not much to it, and it's quite short as well, so I just don't think you're going to get loads out of it from a second watch. But yeah, Werewolf by Night, I might, look into it a little bit further, see what certain things mean, but if you've seen it, let me know what you think about it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.